What's good, family? Thanks for checking back. Today we're cooking a household favorite, fried chicken. Who doesn't love some fried chicken? I don't know. This is one of those dishes that was cooking in the house and your mouth start to water. Just can't wait, So we have our chicken, soaking in lemon juice with fresh limes, to clean it. Now, every Caribbean dish, we clean the food, the chicken, whatever meat it is we're cooking before we cook it. So I don't know if I need to keep showing this, but just for the people that don't understand. And we also clean the sink because, you never know. Look, see a piece of meat drop out there, as I call it. That's what I'm saying. See, there got another one sneaking out. You have to clean these things before you start cooking. My vegetables, I clean them before I even put them in the fridge. Wash them and clean them. That way, when I take it out, I can just use it right away. So I suggest you do the same exact thing, So here we just have regular chicken, some tenderloin, some legs, and a couple thighs, right? Now, in true fashion, I can't just make regular fried chicken. So I think I'm going to make this into a jerk fried chicken, And I know people say, oh, jerk. That's a big debate. When you say jerk, what is jerk? Is it the seasoning? Or is it the method of cooking? I don't know. That's a whole nother video. We have to discuss what you consider jerk. But we're going to make this a jerk fried chicken. All right. So we're just going to keep rinsing this off. Make sure we get all of that lime and lemon off and all the impurities that was, on the chicken previously. We just want to get that off and drain it out. So let me show you what I'm going to season it with. You know me, as usual, I'm just using what we have in the cabinet right now. Okay, let's get into the seasonings that I'm going to use to make this fried chicken. So many ways to make fried chicken. This is smoked paprika. This is some coloring seasoning. You use that for the yellow rice, but I like to do it because it gives my chicken color. So some basic red pepper flakes. Lawry's seasoning salt, can't live without that. Everybody knows that. I'm going to talk about there. Some parsley. Parsley flakes, and of course my jerk seasoning. You could use your jerk seasoning, it doesn't matter. And then we got the eggs to do the egg wash, and then we got some all-purpose flour here. Now the only thing about this, I have a little bit of flour, so this is going to be pretty tricky. I didn't check the flour before I started doing this, so I gotta be really it's gonna be interesting. Let's see how this turns out actually. Okay, so some people season just the flour and some people season the meat. Personally, I season both of them. I want that flavor in both. So right now, this is for the color, that coloring season that we would use for the yellow rice. You can find this in any Latino area in your store. That's where this would be at, And I'm adding the parsley. This doesn't have any salt in it. That coloring doesn't have any salt, and the parsley doesn't have any salt. And then next I'm going to add the smoked paprika. I like smoked paprika over regular paprika because it has that little smoky flavor. But if you didn't have smoked paprika, just use regular paprika. It works the same way. It doesn't matter. And then now our Lawry's seasoning salt. Oh, wait, let me use the other side. You can't do without the Lawry's seasoning salt. It's just like a staple. Got to have this for fried chicken. I'm sorry. It's just me. Don't go too crazy with this because remember, we're going to season the meat. And then now we just want to put in some pepper flakes. I use the red pepper flakes. I wish it was Scotch bonnet, but it's not. This works just as well. And look, I found me some adobo. I keep calling it adobe, like the video editing software. Some adobo, got to have a little bit of that. Now, only the adobo and the seasoning salt has salt content in it. The rest of the stuff doesn't have any salt. So once you mix this around, you can see, look, it doesn't even season it too much. It just was on the top. Now it's not too bad. But I want to add maybe a little bit more smoked paprika, Yeah, let me just get that in there. There we go. That's good. All right, let me get to the chicken seasoning now. Okay, so the star of the show is the jerk seasoning. Remember, we're bringing the Caribbean straight to your table. So we don't do anything normal. Let's get our jerk seasoning in there. People ask, can you use wet seasoning, jerk seasoning? Yes, you can. Just be careful because it's a higher salt content. And now I'm going to just add the adobo on there. And, it looks like a lot of seasoning right now, but it's not because it's all sitting on the top if you look at it really good. And I have some garlic powder that I just see, so I'm going to add this. I know I didn't tell you in the beginning. You don't need to add it. It's optional, but everybody should have garlic powder in their cabinet anyway. So put that in there if you have some of it. And then, let's just mix this up. See, as you're mixing it up, it's not too crazy because you don't want it to overpower. You don't want it to be over seasoned as far as the salt content. So remember, you season the flour also, but you want it to have a nice, good flavor. So that's where the jerk is gonna come in, that little pep where the people's wondering what's different about this fried chicken. It's a Balo's fried chicken. What do you mean, what's different about it? So we're gonna go ahead and just add maybe a little bit more seasoning salt, because once I mix it up, I see that it could use a little bit more. You notice I'm not using table salt. It's just seasoning salt, adobo, things with other spices in there, right? And then let's go ahead and get our egg wash on there. Now I had 4 small eggs, so normally I would have dipped the chicken in there individually, but it's not gonna work. So we're just gonna pour it on here. The beauty of cooking homemade and Caribbean, you work with the flow. We go along with whatever we can do. We don't have rules and regulations. That's why I said it's not really a recipe. It's about the soul of cooking, how you feel about it. You know, I can't really give you a recipe. I can give you a guideline. And this is, you know, my video can show you what I'm talking about. So that's done there, right there, okay? So let's get to the nitty gritty now of our JFC, jerk fried chicken. So we're just gonna take it out of the egg wash and just, you know, lightly roll it around in the flour. And the only reason why I'm doing this lightly is because, like you guys know already, I don't have enough flour, so I'm just gonna make this work the way I have to let it work. Just gently roll this around. You won't have this problem. You can just, you know, put it in a plastic bag and sling it around as much as you want, because you have all the flour that you need. But if you don't, you can follow this recipe perfectly. But let me tell you what the secret to this is now. If you notice what I'm doing, after I roll this around and I get it floured up, even if you were double dipping this, it wouldn't matter how you did this. You gotta let the chicken rest with the flour on it. That is the number one thing I could tell you to do. Just shake it off a little bit and put it there and let it rest for about 5 minutes or so, so that flour sticks to the chicken. You know, a lot of us we cook when we're really hungry, so we'll just flour this thing right away and throw it in the oil. But then what happens is when the chicken comes out, it's uneven with the coating, and that's what we don't want, you know. So I'm glad I only have this little bit of flour here, man, because, you know, at least this way you can see how the cooking really goes. You know, I'm not gonna change my video and stuff to make it perfect. No, this is what happened. I didn't have enough flour, and this is what you gotta do, and that's how I want to show people how to cook. We cook for real. But I'm not gonna bore you doing every last piece of chicken, so let me just go ahead and just do this last one here and then ease this off. Okay, our chicken's done. See, beautiful. Just gonna let it sit for a little bit, maybe about 10 minutes. And just remember, we started from the front, you know, going back, right? There it goes. Just let it sit nice and you know, dry out a little bit, so when we put it in the oil. So here we're heating up the oil. The oil, and I don't have a thermometer. I never even seen one of those things until I started watching the food shows on TV. You know, we just kind of flick a little water in there, and then we add the chicken to it. You know, so you see how I have enough that is covering the chicken because I'm deep frying this. A lot of Caribbean cuisine, we wouldn't even deep fry it. We would use a little bit of oil and, you know, just turn it. You know, but for me, I deep fry it because I know once it floats to the top, the chicken is done. You know, it's a real simple, basic technique to do. Once you see that chicken kind of floating, it's done. Just give it another 5-6 minutes after that. So even in this oil, we're gonna only cook this for about, I'm saying maybe, you know, 10 minutes for the drumsticks, 10-12 minutes, something like that. You know. So you see here, look, it's floating. Look at that, getting nice color to it. Oh man, look at that, beautiful. Look at that. Ah. Can you believe it? We thought we didn't have enough flour. So we're gonna take these out. They've been going, like I said, for about 12 minutes or so. Just drain it a little bit and put it onto paper towels. Look at that, nice. Look at this. I'm not even eating chicken right now, you know. This is just for the family. You know, I'm still doing my vegetarian diet, but man, look at that. It looks beautiful. Ah, look. So get that in the paper towel, and then, you know, we got to add some more. Now, if you notice what I'm doing, this is another key thing. Do not overstock the oil with chicken, because a lot of people try and cook it all quickly, And what happens is you bring the temperature down of the oil, right? So here, look, I'm gonna put in about 4 pieces. That's it, all right? And if you're on an electric stove like I am, the heat is on 7, okay? Not high, 7. And so we know where we're at, okay? We don't wanna burn this thing. We wanna make it, cook perfectly, all right? And this is our jerk fried chicken. Now, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment on my video. Show me some love. That's what I'm talking about. And I'll keep doing it. All right? One love.